Competency number 1, identify a banded Amegilla bee, aka a blue banded bee. So we've got native banded Amegilla bees, and a lot of people know those as blue banded bees. But of the 14 species of blue banded bee, not many of them have blue bands. So we term them as banded Amegillas, aka blue banded bees. As you can see here, there's an awful lot of different colour patterns, and there's, I think, only about 2 or 3 who have got blue bands. So they don't have to be blue banded bees to be banded Amegilla. But they are bees, and they have specific characteristics that you can, oh yeah, that's a blue banded bee. So they have the stripes, as you see, with iridescent, a lot of the time they're iridescent sort of colours, but not necessarily blue. But they also have green eyes, large green eyes on the sides of their heads. They've got long antennae, and a lot of the time they will have a little joint here near their face, a little kink. They've got fluffy thoraxes, they're fluffy, except for their body. So their thorax and their head are quite fluffy. The females carry the pollen on the hind legs. Males don't have scope. So that's called a scoper, and that's dry pollen is carried on special hairs on their hind legs. And here you can see she's got blue bands and green eyes and fluffy thorax and long antennae. They've got black stripes with a variety of colours, and their legs are quite hairy. The wings, they've got 2 pairs, but sometimes it is difficult to tell whether they've got 2 pairs of wings or not. So it is hard, especially when they're moving really, really fast. And also when they're resting, they actually tuck their second wing behind the small one. But if they're at rest, you can often see that the wings are a little bit shorter than the end of the abdomen. Banded Amegilla are between 13 and 15 millimetres long, and they're fast, and you can usually hear them before you see them. Fun fact, they're also really important buzz pollinators of many of our native bees, and they're also quite good pollinators of our tomatoes and eggplant that require buzz pollination. And if you look really closely here, this is pollen. These are pollen grains, and she is shaking this flower so much. She's actually hitting her head on it 350 times a second to get that pollen freed from the flower.